好的，各位观众，欢迎回来！职业联赛的现场。那么在下午的 BO2，老干爹跟 YG 的对阵中，最后由老干爹2-0直落了 YG。
对，老干爹在经过拿这3分之后，他们的基本上已经确定保级了。
是的。再来我们看到的最佳选手。
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LPL. Your broadcast live on Twitch TV, brought to you in part by our friends at Esports Heaven and Games in Asia. My name is Reed Rapid Melton, and joining me will be Nero Integrate. We'll be your casters for today. I'm breaking down the first best of 2 and taking you into our second best of 2 of the evening. Of course, that will be a couple of games between World Elite Academy, now no longer in the running for LPL playoffs, and OMG, who are, I think they're in the running for playoffs.
Yeah, they definitely are in the running for playoffs, but they want to secure the first place spot, actually, that they have been able to, actually, pretty many splits in a row. So they definitely will be looking for that. And actually, they haven't been winning too many matches lately, so they definitely have something to prove. If they can finish the first, then it's still okay for them. But actually, some people are starting to doubt them, and that is a bad thing because OMG is supposed to be the power of China. And actually, there's Starhorn Royal Club, who weren't really playing too well, but they are at the first place spot right now.
Yeah, if you had told me a couple weeks ago the Starhorn would be first place, that was not very likely. But then Young Glory happened, and Starhorn had a very good week last week and this week. So things are actually looking up for them. OMG have this issue versus the bottom teams. They tend not to either they don't prepare for them or they tend to troll really hard versus teams like Young Glory and World Elite Academy, and they wound up losing one of their games in their series a couple weeks ago to Young Glory. Back in week 7, but it's games like this that are really going to show you OMG's true colors. For World Elite Academy, they really have nothing to lose here. If they win, they're in relegations. If they lose, they're in relegations. So this isn't really going to change their seed all that much. It's really just going to be more about OMG securing first place, and one good way to do that is by picking up 3 points with a 2-0 win here versus World Elite Academy. You can see them on your screen right now, a 25% win ratio, the worst in LPL. Coming off 2 victories versus Young Glory, but defeats everywhere else, with the exception of their game versus Starhorn.
And yeah, pretty much OMG, they might come into this game a little bit overconfident, which is a big problem. So we might see World Elite actually getting something for themselves in this best of 2 series, but yeah, we'll get to that in the game already right now. We do have the World Elite Academy's roster in front of our eyes.
Yep, you can see Khan there on your screen. Plays a little bit of everything, but I guess previously has really struggled to find his mark. He is very, very skilled and has pulled off some incredible plays. I think most notably his last Maokai game on there, which was pretty darn impressive in its own right. Soist in the jungle. I think his champion pool is very illustrative of what he's been bringing out. Jarvan the 4th, and to be honest, he is an incredibly patient jungler, whereas a lot of junglers tend to be very, very aggressive, and Jarvan, great champion for him to do that on, just because it does reward that patience. Now, Mickey God plays everything. When he came to LPL, I was like, alright, so what's this kid gonna play? And the answer was like Jace, Zed, some weird assassins out there, but then he really changed over to like those last 2 Xerath picks, so it's kind of leaving me guessing. And with SNLZ in the bottom lane, I don't think there's too many guesses to look down there. He's been one of the most consistent players on World Elite Academy all split long.
And now here's the question, what will OMG actually ban? Are they gonna go for the troll game right here because they are up against the last place team in the LPL and they don't treat them like seriously? Or are they gonna ban out like Soist's Jarvan the 4th? Are they really afraid of the comfortable champions for World Elite Academy? Because, well, they lost 1 game to Young Glory already when they underestimated the opponents, so the same thing may happen right here.
Well, the big struggle is not whether or not OMG will prepare for World Elite, but whether or not World Elite will prepare for anything ever again. They've been noted to prepare very little if at all, for their games, especially recently in LPL. And it's just not looking good for them. And while they have a 25% win ratio, it is 67% for OMG, having won 2/3 of their games this season, and they are looking incredibly strong, especially as they make their run for first place here, starting with their best of 2 series tonight. I can see them starting from the bottom lane and working their way up. It's Cloud, the guy that when he came back to OMG, they started just like doing so well, and then they hit Young Glory, so we're gonna forget about those games. And there is the man of the hour on your stream. It's San, who I guess last split didn't necessarily have, or at least at All Stars had some issues, but this split has been looking good. And while he may not be the best AD carry in China, he's on one of the best teams in China. At least they have been last split and for most of this split as well. Guy that helps him be there is Cool. You can see returning to his roots 2 games on Twisted Fate. They've been looking good. TF probably his most iconic champion. Does bring out the Ziggs and Ahri every once in a while. And his brother from the same haircut is Drug in the jungle, aka Alan or Lovelin. Kind of the wild card, at least for me, this game. He does have a 4 KDA, so still looking impressive in that regard. But what are you expecting? What are you looking for most out of OMG? Not necessarily for them to clinch this win, but maybe signs of strength to get back up to first place.
Well, they definitely want to get back to the first place, but I'm looking at Gogoing at most. The previous time he played with this Shyvana, that was so impressive.
That was the most devastating performance of Shyvana I have seen this entire split for LPL. Gogoing took over the map. Bottom lane had a double kill off TP. Top lane came back and double killed under his own turret off of a 2-man dive. Just incredible plays from that guy, and looking for him. And you know, usually you'd say, okay, Cool's gonna carry the team, San's gonna carry the team, but no, or maybe even Zero sometimes. That time it was Gogoing. He is going to look very, very good tonight.
We are getting into the picks and bans, so we'll get to see. Will OMG ban out the comfortable champions for World League Academy, or just the OP champions like Yasuo, or maybe even Maokai?
And now coming into picks and bans, no surprise that Cool's going to get his Ziggs taken away. When Cool picks Ziggs, either he smashes lanes and then they just group his 5 and win, or they lose due to some throws and wind up stalling the game out for 55 minutes and then come back the long and hard way. But we'll see what the bans, if the bans really focus Cool out, because I wouldn't necessarily expect it. You can leave Yasuo up versus Cool, which is not something you can do versus guys like Dian Gun that we saw in the previous series. So probably the focus is going to be in that direction, but you can also ban out Lee Sin or Thresh, and there's the Thresh ban right there versus, wait, is that, why does he have the Pomelo tag on?
He's crazy. That's what I can tell you.
Why
he
is he using
definitely
Pomelo?
is Cloud, because I know his face and I know that it is Cloud. He named himself Neymar and then lost 0-7 in a game. He's just an evil genius. He's the master of nicknames.
All
He's
right.
not Pomelo.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
So what do we call
coming-
him in the game right now?
I was gonna say, if we call him Pablo, we're probably not going to make too many fans out there. And honestly, I wonder, can you do that? Just name yourself another player? I don't know, man, but still coming out and looking good.
Wow, that's a bold move from Cloud. And yeah, let's keep calling him Cloud throughout the game. But yeah, there's no Yasuo ban, and Mickey is a really strong Yasuo player, and on the other hand, we do have Cool, who is not doing on this Yasuo too well. So actually, he may not really know how to counterplay this Yasuo too well too. Which means that Mickey should be going towards this Yasuo pick, but, well, we will not get it as of yet, because there is the Leona lock-in.
And with the Leona lock-in, it's going to be up to this Alistar. I really want to see where it goes. So this screams Kog'Maw to me, because when you're looking for a Kog'Maw team comp, you want to put a bunch of supports around him. So you've got Alistar, you've got Lulu, and you don't have a Kog'Maw. So San gonna lock in the Corki, And traditionally, you know, Corki does very well in LPL, but only on certain players. Guys like Wei Zhao, who's had some devastatingly strong Corki games so far. And I believe XQ had one that was okay, but didn't really shine all that much on it. So San locking it in versus a Tristana will create a big discrepancy as far as hyper carries are concerned in the bottom lane, because while Corki will dominate, especially with his big Trinity Force power spike, Tristana will carry a late game. And wait a second, there's a Renekton lock-in for Khan.
For Mickey, rather, in the... Or no, this is the Tristana in the mid lane. Okay,
Wait
I saw the tie.
No, it's mid lane Lucian. It's gonna be Blucian in the mid lane.
Nah, I don't
for
believe
Mickey
that.
God.
With
Yeah.
Essence Reaver, maybe?
Yeah. I'm a believer,
No.
man. He's gonna get Yomu's Ionian Boots of Lucidity, Essence Reaver. It's
And
coming.
Magi Soul Stealer.
Probably more the Sword of the Occult build. We'll see if he...
But it's Blution. Why not? Alright, so... World Elite Academy, when I saw this Renekton lock-in, I was quite sure that it's gonna be the middle lane because the Thai played the Renekton in the middle lane, but actually it's gonna go to the top and we're gonna have Tristana in the mid. Actually, it's Lucian in the mid for now, so you can be happy for a couple of seconds, but I'm quite sure that it's gonna come back to the normal thing of Tristana in the mid.
Well,
just a
Tristana,
sec.
mid lane Tristana is something that we've seen a lot out of players or teams like Curse in the North American LCS. Voyboy really popularizing that when nobody else will bring that back. And
No way.
for World Elite Academy, I'd expect
Didn't
that
switch
Lucian
it.
mid. Yeah, no. Lucian mid is much more common. Curse is literally the only team that has ever run a Tristana mid lane, or at least in recent history. The mid lane Lucian is much more common. In fact, when he first came out, I believe it was the Korean Quantic Gaming roster that busted him out in the mid lane right after he's played mid lane in the night before in Korea. So it's really cool to see maybe a strategy from when Lucian first came out kind of come back again into the meta in this 4.12 patch where Lucian is incredibly strong.
Wow, that is gonna be at least interesting. I expected a Tristana in the mid lane because you can play her AP, you can play her AD, but it's kind of a hit or miss because if you get fed, you destroy everyone around, but if you don't, you just lost the game. But yeah, Lucian in the middle lane, I personally have never seen that. That's why I'm so...
Yeah. Well, you can't
Surprise.
you can't really play AP Tristana versus Alistar Lulu because you'll never kill anyone. You'll just get headbutted away, and then you'll get giant growth, so nobody dies to your burst. So AP Tristana is not an option. AD Tristana is, but you need to sit him in a side lane to farm out his early game, which is probably what you'll see here from World Elite Academy. Double AD looking good here as we hop into game number 1. Our second best of 2 of the night is World Elite Academy facing off against OMG.
It's not only double AD, it's no AP at all from World Elite Academy.
Hey. UJ does ability power damage, Nero. And so does SMLZ, so.
But he's not Conan, so he's not gonna get like 5 kills.
And technically Khan does magic damage with his ultimate too, so. Never doubt, Nero, never doubt.
Oh, wow, Khan actually...
Going. Holy cow, he took like 3/4 of his health bar.
And then he comes to place a ward, and once again, putting himself with risky placement.
Oh,
Wow.
Mickey got the auto attack trade off. Nice job. I believe Mickey actually started with the Relentless Pursuit level 1, so no piercing light, which is a little bit weird. Keep in mind, this is the Relentless Pursuit that doesn't cost mana, so he can use that whenever he wants to on command to get that Light Slinger passive off.
Alright, so this game is definitely going to be interesting, and especially with World Elite Academy having nothing on the line, they can go for the crazy moves, like going for the Lucian mid lane.
I
And
think
the Yasuo was
Pomelo's-
open
yeah,
the
I
whole
think
time.
Pomelo is going to be the one going for the crazy moves this game, because you know, Alistar. But red buff start for both, or bottom side start for both teams. Red buff for Sois, Drug, He's gonna be kind of alone as he does his own blue buff, but really aggressive trades in the mid lane, top lane as well, but should look to see an early advantage from OMG up top, whereas Mickey God's Lucian still has a lot to prove.
Alright, so this is gonna be kind of one of the farm games, especially with Tristana, but in the middle lane. Wow, should be interesting. But who's gonna come out on top? Mickey, when he has a good day, he's just blowing everyone up, but something is coming in the mid.
Yeah, Cool's gonna get rooted up, and there is the piercing light, just barely dodged away from. Nice headbutt. The pulverize in from SMLZ, and actually the leap, I don't know if that rocket jump was necessarily advisable, but it did allow SMLZ to push his advantage and get that extra damage down onto San.
Alright, so in the middle lane, if Mickey goes wild, he will get as many kills as possible. But if he doesn't, then this Lucian is not gonna leave a good memory in our minds. I guess.
I guess.
World Elite.
The World Elite Academy. Is that the Tristana taunt?
Yep, that is.
That sounds so weird to me. I've never heard that before. Mid lane, Drug gonna jump on a Mickey God, but so is this right there. So Drug does not want any part that counter gank in the mid lane coming in. So right now the damage is bottom, and if UJ gets a Zenith Blade onto San and locks him up in time, SMLZ can blow him apart. So definitely have to play this one very carefully, but have to watch out for the Alistar headbutt pulverize.
Alright, so Lucian actually getting a little bit of a CS advantage in the middle lane, which is of course a normal thing since you are a ranged champion versus a melee champion. But cool, if he gets bullied so much, and so is he already ganked there, he already stunned him up. The next time so is decides to go to this middle lane, it will most probably mean a kill. And well, in the early game that Lucian can do a lot, but later on this is gonna be dangerous for World Elite Academy.
SMLZ is spam taunting down in the bottom. I'm not sure if that's necessarily appropriate, but mid lane, Soist, fully stacked Bar of Fury is looking to come around behind the turret, and oh cool, could be in a little bit of trouble. Of course, the engage from UJ, but he gets pulverized immediately. Summoner heals out, there's the flash from UJ, still gets crippled down there. Flash in, oh, the Q Sonic Wave does not land in time. Phosphorus Bomb is down there for San. OMG, grab first blood from World Elite Academy.
But it was SMLZ taunting them all the time. Why would you kill UJ? OMG, so merciless.
Something tells me if SMLZ sticks around too much, they might just go for the dive here. And yeah, they're going to force him off the turret. There's the Valkyrie in there. San's just putting down the damage and being a bully, forcing SMLZ back from the turret.
Alright, so OMG do get the first blood. They do have the gold advantage, and they will be pushing up this bottom lane turret, especially with SMLZ being so low. That might even be a dive and a kill. With an Alistar, it's, well, not too risky for them. They can try.
Oh yeah, not risky at all. Pomelo is only level 4 though, and especially with Ileona for the lockdown, you really don't want to go for a dive against that. It'd be kind of like diving the Alistar in return. So Drug is jumping in here, but he does have to watch out for this damage. Cool, has a lot of damage left to give for himself. But Khan coming in from behind, and Khan gets in, gets out with the first blood of the game for World Elite Academy.
Polo roams towards the middle lane, but it's too late.
Yeah, he had the angle, but he was just a little bit too slow, so unfortunate. And Khan doesn't even miss all that much CS for going mid, so that was a very good roam for him. Great presence of mind to go mid and dive out Drug.
Yeah, so World Elite Academy, they actually get something, and there's an assist on this Lucian, so they are trying to build it up. It's only gonna get tougher for them.
A little bit of life steal there for Cool will help him stay in lane, and it's a common item choice for Zeds who do have to deal with a lot of poke damage. You go for the Doran shield early for the sustain, and then you just pick up enough lifesteal so that you're tanky enough to be able to wave clear and survive with the lifesteal and the block, but you also deal enough damage to spec into things like Blade of the Ruined King, which is a nice item path for Zed to start out with.
Alright, so Khan will be quite strong on this Renekton. He already bullied Gogoing at the very beginning of the match by a little bit, then jumped towards the middle lane and killed Cool. That's a good thing to have on your top laner. It's not only the jungler helping your team.
Cool being called down for blue buff. Probably will be giving it over to Cool instead of Drug. Kind of a suboptimal situation because neither jungler nor mid laner really use the blue, but it's actually still effective on Zed because it gives you the cooldowns that you need to wave clear versus Mickey God solution.
Well, World Elite Academy should have a little bit better pushing though, so that might be okay. But Cool, he is playing Zed, so he's gonna be split pushing later on in the game. How are they gonna deal with him? That is the question. But right now we're still in the early stages of the game, and wow, this game is still a big mystery to me.
Yeah, the big mystery is to me is like this is the battle between like an all AD composition from World Elite Academy, which should actually scale pretty ridiculously hard. Like once you get 6 items everywhere, but Cool's gonna get jumped on there. Sois should be able to stay alive from the heal after he gets his Fury stacks up from the charge off of his ultimate. So he does stay alive there, but nice avoidance. Cool got jumped a little bit ahead of schedule, and Mickey wasn't there for the follow-up.
Yep, and Cool didn't even have to use anything to run away from there. Didn't use Deathmark, didn't use the flash, so he's still okay.
Question for me is, if OMG lose this, is that a loss for Cloud or for Pomelo? Okay, well, Khan goes in for the aggression is like, you stole my blue buff, and then just gets Dragon's Rage kicked back out. So the struggles of being Renekton, not allowing him a whole lot of mobility, and really not a champion that you see too much back up in that top lane. The struggles continuing for him up there, now that he has to go up against a, wait a second, he's going against a Lulu, which is actually a blue Lulu with that buff on her, and a Rod of Ages coming out for her. Haven't seen the Rod of Ages Lulu before.
That is gonna be quite a big thing, and yeah, actually going up against Renekton, you have to be able to bring up sort of the same tankiness as him, and it's hard to do as a Lulu, of course. But yeah, that's gonna be quite interesting. And actually, coming back to Pomelo, aka Cloud, when the production and crew can actually troll him around by a little bit and give the MVP to Pomelo, and actually give the points to Pomelo, who isn't even playing in the league. So the points get lost, like completely lost.
I'm not sure that's quite how it works. We'll see how the stats work out at the end of the game. But OMG, they've got great vision control coming up on a relatively early dragon for not having a lane swap happen. This should be a good opportunity for them to start to force this objective. Now, Sois is in the area and does have his ultimate available, so he can, quote-unquote, get the jump on his opponents. The dragon has been pulled out. Sois walks right over the pink ward, jumps in and gets the dragon steal, takes it away from OMG, and now look at SMLZ there. He's got the damage way back from the back, but UJ is just dead here, and so rather than going in for the fight, World Elite Academy will take the win as far as the dragon's concerned, and leave licking their wounds after having lost Sois and UJ.
Yeah, so they got the dragon, but they lost 2 kills, and I guess that OMG will be trying to bring down a turret in exchange. But, well, it's World Elite Academy who are on top in the turrets and in the dragons at the moment, so that didn't really work out too well for OMG, for the red team.
Yeah, that dragon steal was very bad. Sois walked right over a pink ward right before he came into the pit, so it's not like it's a big mystery that Rengar's about to jump in. You just don't deal damage to the dragon. It's not that difficult a concept, but he was there in time and he got the steal, so congratulations to Sois to pretty much the only thing keeping World Elite in that early game fight. If OMG had gotten the 2 kills and the Dragon, you'd see a pretty big gold lead for them. But instead, it's actually World Elite Academy ahead on the gold. Probably mostly due to their mid lane. Mickey God's Lucian is actually doing very well against Cool.
Alright, so it's getting a little bit later and later in the game, and I'm still waiting for the solution to show something to us, because it's always a gank when he does. Oh, and Pomelo will be coming in.
Yeah, there's the flash, double pulverize, and a headbutt back on UJ. Now, UJ immediately jumps onto San, and is going to drop enough burst damage to keep him down. And look at SMLZ. You're going to have to make a YMCA-style dance after this, because he's just bouncing everywhere. One more auto attacks, all it's going to take, the flash in there, the jump back out, and SMLZ... a little bit careless there. Yeah, he could have flashed much earlier for the kill. But at the end of the day, it's a 2-1 Tristana, it's a 2-0-2 Khan, and World Elite Academies. Kind of surprising as all, with some incredible aggression bottom. Works out, and then Khan doing well at the same time. Is not something that you expected in the 1v1, but he's finding the kills elsewhere, outside of lane.
Khan is just playing so well at the moment. Every single time he uses this teleport, he gets at least a kill or an assist. He is so good for his team, and now we are back into a 4-4 with a gold advantage in favor of World Elite Academy, because they took down a turret, because they stole the dragon, and that is just incredible for them. But actually, SMLZ had to go down because the triumphant raw outplay from Cloud was just too good.
Yeah, Cloud really outplayed that situation very, very well. And keep in mind, in case you're just now joining us, Pomelo is actually Cloud. Cloud is just using Pomelo's name for some reason. I'm not sure exactly why. But Pomelo, Cloud, whatever you want to call him, he is Cloud, and I think that's what we are going to go for. Unable to clear out the pink ward the first time, so he's going to get some help from San.
Yeah, the World Elite Academy, even though they lost this fight in the Dragon, oh, Mickey might be in danger right here.
Mickey God has to flash away, and he is safe. But look at Drug, though. He's going to need some body blocking. Headbutt, pulverize the damage from San. Way in there, but Mickey...
Khan again.
He's got the retreat. Khan in the front lines. UJ misses the Zenith Blade, comes back in with the stun, and he grabs a kill there for himself. Khan still looking for a stun to maybe find another pick here. Will he be able to grab it in time? Answer is no. Still with a nice teleport. WEA Academy. 2,500 gold in the lead.
Khan is always there with perfect positioning, with perfect timing. It's just incredible how well he plays in this Renekton. And it's a Renekton that we haven't seen for so long.
What is this Rod of Ages Lulu? That's a new one on me. Usually you do not see the Rod of Ages. It's a good pick in lane versus Khan because it gives you the extra tank stats. But if you're going to do that, you just buy an early Seeker's Arm Guard and still get the mana regen from either double Doran's Rings, a Tear of the Goddess, or just still go in the Chalice build. So, not sure about that. I mean, he's 1-0, so you can't really fault the guy, but he has not had the same presence across the map that Khan has. Masterful use of that teleport. Really, like you said, looking like going.
Alright, so
40% CDR for Lucian, by the way. Thought I'd point that out.
Ow, the relentless pursuits are gonna come out every single couple of seconds.
Actually gets down slightly below that, though, with the enough auto attacks in between. So some big mobility here for Mickey. He just goes in there, uses the culling, because that culling is going to be up in about 40 seconds.
Yeah.
And you can see an 8.4 second cooldown on Relentless
But
Pursuit.
there's Pomelo from behind.
There's the headbutt. The pulverize not even necessary. Mickey God just looking for the auto attacks to try to like dash backwards and get the outplay, but he can't get over the wall in time, and so he does wind up dying. Mickey God, 40% CDR is cool and everything, but doesn't counter the cow.
Yeah, and he lost this blue buff too to San, and now San will be able to deal a lot of damage with the rocket barrages.
And he'll just buy a Brilliance Elixir and call it even. The old semi-AP Lucian, you know, it's probably not a thing. So, should just see a desire for maybe another blue buff a little bit later on. But mostly the big thing to point out is that Mickey God it's clear what he's going for, and it is that blue Lucian build, or Blucian build, if you will. And it's just in time for the Dragon. World Elite Academy will set up for this objective, but once again, they do come into this in the driver's seat. A little bit ahead on gold. Some big item spikes with the Infinity Edge and 40% CDR. And should be able to take this Dragon down for free, but might lose their top and mid turrets for it.
And you called this Lucian pick, and you most probably called this Yomu's Ghostblade that's gonna get built. And I now want to see an Essence Reaver picked up in this game, but that's probably not gonna happen, and the turret in the top lane will fall, but well, Khan might have something to say right here.
Oh,
Khan, he's a man.
He is a very big man. Little man, bear, crocodile thing. The flash in for an immediate stun from Soas. This is going to start the fight in a big ways. Pomelo is an equally big cow. He got Lulu ulted there. He's got the damage reduction, but it just doesn't last long enough. The World Elite Academy come top for 2 kills. Will lose their mid turret off the back of that.
So that's what I said. Cool is gonna be on the split push, but the Baron...
No, World Elite Academy, they're starting a Baron buff.
They just used the ultimates.
They just used their ultimates. Drug, though, is not in the area, so there's no smite for OMG. They're going to have to do this with stop this fight with damage, not go for the steal. Now, Cool's coming in there. He is full health, just tries to get in there for the damage. Can he find any kills? He's going to grab at least one with the death mark. Khan very low as well. The Baron is going to go to World Elite Academy, but can they survive? One down. SMLZ jumps back into the pit, gets one reset. Can he find a second one? He's going to leave it up to Mickey God, but something tells me Going's a little bit too fast for that one. Makes his way out of there alive. Now Drug coming in. He's full HP. Drops a ward there at the Baron pit. Now still on the hunt. Not the Sivir ult. Just looking for somebody to love.
No, this fight was too good to be real, actually. And OMG, they didn't manage to come back. But still, the gold difference isn't too big in favor of World Elite Academy. But there comes the replay, and well, Cool. He dealt so much damage in this fight. It's just incredible.
He goes in, and UJ and SMLZ are already incredibly low. So is Khan. And he actually goes in onto Khan and then tanks up the Baron for a couple of shots. Khan, nice mobility, gets to the other side of Baron, just really blocks out or denies Cool the option to go for a lot of damage there. The jump back into the pit was a little bit questionable for SMLZ. I almost would have liked to see going just a kind of suicide there for the kill on SMLZ, just because Tristana had double buffs and it would have taken those off the field. And might have been able to turn that back around with some nice slows and kiting. But SMLZ still very, very strong now at 3-1-3. And this is an Infinity Edge coming out as the AD item from Lucian. Pomelo does get caught, but he's got his ultimate on. Will be able to at least try to escape. Flashes to the other side of that solar flare, and will make it out of there alive. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's the death mark onto Khan again.
Khan stays alive.
It's a huge tanky Renekton, and with the last second heal, Call the Meek's gonna keep him in the game. Flash away there from San is gonna try to keep him alive. Drug goes down. Khan finds the other kill onto Going. And World Elite Academy up to a 13-8 lead in kills, and now 4-3 in turrets, pushing into the base.
And 4 for nothing in the kills, and they will get that inhibitor turret, and most probably the inhibitor, Khan. Even though he was in such a bad position, in a 1v3, he manages to stay alive and get a kill. Wow, that is a massive performance by Khan.
This is where you blame OMG's loss on Pomelo, which is why he's not on the team anymore. No, that is actually Cloud playing with the Pomelo tag, but playing a little bit more like Pomelo than he would probably want to.
Yeah, the World Elite Academy, they actually won against Young Glory, so they are becoming the Young Glory 2.0 because they are taking down the top teams, it seems.
Man, OMG, how the mighty have fallen. Starting out at the top, and now they're here. They, like I said, occupied first place for so long, then had a shaky series versus Young Glory, and ever since then just have been shadows of their former self, even with Cloud now. Nice kick there. Smite's good for Drug. Gets the blue buff, but it gives it right back away to Mickey, who's going to be just dashing everywhere. Soist has tons of follow-up off the back of this, but Cool is a little bit too mobile. Gets the slowest onto Soist. And I guess I should say that Soist was the slowest. there after he got hit by that spinning slash from Cool. So nice escape there from everyone on OMG. They take the blue buff, wind up giving it back away, but do make it out with their lives.
With this Tristana, actually usually that we see Tristana, it's all about farming her up, but she's so far behind in farm actually, and she's doing so well. SMLZ definitely having a nice performance on this champion, but Khan, he's the MVP up until now, definitely, for World Elite Academy.
Yeah, Khan, he's definitely... It's kind of odd that he's playing this way versus Go-Going, because he's playing Go-Going's style, where you don't really care about whether or not you win your lane. You just TP around the map and control it all. Go-Going, of course, can win both the map and his lane.
So is in danger, though.
Yeah, he's gonna get jumped on there by Cool. Deathmark's down, and so is Soist. He gets taken out. The rest of World Elite Academy trying to flank in from the side, but they have to be very careful. They're starting this fight a man down, and especially with Pomelo to dive things out. Yeah, the Zenith play is going to get Juj in there, but he has to have backup. And with Drug and Pomelo coming in from the side, that is not going to be a back line that can follow up through the tank line. Zenith Blade's in there, and it's Juj getting the lockdown going down, but so is the cow. Pomelo, or Cloud rather, gets taken out. It is a 1-for-1 exchange. So it's now coming back alive. But no minion wave to push in. Or I take it back. It's right there.
Whoa, UJ.
Going way back. He's going to go down, but base turret for support's pretty worth it in my book.
Yeah, definitely. They will have the mid lane inhibitor open. The Baron will be coming in about 140. So with the bottom lane inhibitor down, World Elite Academy is gonna have an easy time, but so is maybe looking for Sun right here.
He jumps in right onto Sun. No, Sun, please. The re-engage from World Elite. The follow-up bolo on a Go-Going, and the slow from the red buff as well. It's SMLZ with his 6th kill of the game. He's been involved in 12 out of 17 of these kills, and I don't have to simplify that ratio because the 17 is a prime number, so pretty happy about that one. World Elite Academy, and more importantly, the SMLZ contribution is just way too good this game. Now Mickey God's gonna get jumped on, he gets blown apart immediately, but Soist and SMLZ, they're still in this fight. And the inhibitor is not, however. Soist is, he's looking for more resets. Gets one for SMLZ, gonna jump in again, gets headbutted. Where's the pulverizer? Gets pulverized, where's the headbutt? Not gonna come out. Big plays by World Elite Academy. I feel like at this point, they're just going for it. That engage from Soist, or the re-engage rather, was maybe not the smartest thing to do, but it worked out just because they're like, hey, what do we have to lose? And the answer is, well, not as much as OMG.
7-3 in thirst. That's a huge advantage. Even if OMG just come back into the game in gold or in kills or whatever, they win a fight, they will not be able to get anything. They will just get a 1 turret or a second one, but they will not get into the base of World Elite Academy. So if it is going to be a comeback, it is going to be a very long one. So OMG, do they really still want to win this game? That was kind of sloppy one. Just look at Drug. 0-6.
Exactly.
Well, that's not a thing you expect from him, and he is playing a Lee Sin.
Well, more importantly for me, you know, sure, Drug is not having a very good game here, but like you said, we were looking for Go-Going to show up in a big way this game, and he really just hasn't. He is 1-2-4 versus a 5-1, and here's the big number, is 10 for Khan. Khan has been all over the map, and even if he didn't have a lot of kills, even if he wasn't super fed, if he was like 0-1-10, he would still have had a bigger impression on this game than Go-Going has so far. So,
but the engage is coming from World Elite Academy in the Baron spawn.
The CC with the damage to back it up, an immediate cleanse there of the death mark. Cool can't escape in time. Cool's gonna go down, and now it's up to Cloud. He's gonna get crit out of his mind. We're looking for one bolo or a couple auto attacks there from the Light Slinger passive. Mickey God coming up big.
Don't need the Baron right now. They will just go for the base and most probably win the game right here. World Elite Academy.
Hope that Rod of Ages is stacking up nice and big for Go-Going, because he is going to need every single bit of that to justify that build. And, I mean, he won his lane, I guess. He took down the turret, he out-CS'd his lane opponent, and he lost the game because Khan was doing stuff elsewhere.
They're not going for the finisher as of yet. They are going for the Baron. And Baron is where
Oh
games
my
are turned around, and we have said that multiple times already, and OMG is coming.
If World Elite lose this game, I don't know, my table's getting flipped or something or other. SMLZ is around
Sounds
behind.
good.
Yeah, and there's no possible way for the steal to go through for Drug. Baron is going to go down. A big 4-man solar flare coming out. UJ even survives thanks to that face of the mountain in the back line. And even though Sois will die there, look at SMLZ. He's got Chris for
reset.
years. 1 jump, 2 jump, and lays the mega crit onto San. Holy hell, SMLZ. Looking good. World Elite Academy poised to take game number 1 from OMG.
Without any big struggles. And Khan, he's the man that made it happen. The first gank in the middle enabled a good game for Mickey, an easy laning phase. And then in the bottom lane, that was also a thing that helped SMLZ get fed. And then you can see Tristana jumping all around the teamfight. Mickey being very useful while pushing the turrets, and they get the game. World Elite Academy, I kind of doubted that mid lane pick, but now I believe. I will believe. So that's the world that you invented, and I will use it right now, and wow.
I gotta say, looking good for World Elite Academy, which is not a phrase I use in their general direction all that often. They come in as the last place team in LPL, facing off against a team that has been first place in LPL, not only last split, but for the majority of this one. So, looking good. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back in about 10 minutes for game number 2 of our final best of 2 of the evening as OMG look to bring it back versus World Elite Academy. Didn't think I'd be here, but I'm glad you guys are here. Stick around. We'll be right back.
除了中路，就是 Mickey 被抓死1次之外，其实看 WEA 整个打的就是
很紧密，
就很